The herd believes the Aggies will win. Just part of the rivalry between the Aztecs and the Aggies. I believe that we will win. Brian Dutcher in his 25th season at San Diego State, 7th as Aztec head coach, the two-time Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year. And a wrinkle in San Diego State starting lineup tonight. Jay Powell, who played great against the Aggies, starts for just the third time. Utah State rolling with their starting five, coming off a disappointing loss to Colorado State. Isaac Johnson will be tasked with defending Jaden Ledee to begin. For Danny Sprinkle in his first season coaching Utah State, and Pete, Danny Sprinkle, the prohibitive favorite for Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year.
He's doing an unbelievable job, Carter. 13 new players. No points came back from last season. I think he's a candidate for National Coach of the Year, which is very competitive, but I think he's in the conversation.
Osobor and Ledee jump center. Utah State controls. Pete, you were there. A very disappointing performance against Colorado State in Utah State's last game, so physicality, especially on the boards, a point of emphasis.
No question, Carter. No place for the weak at heart.
Off the curl, there's Ian Martinez to give Utah State a 2-0 start.
Transfer from Maryland, very talented wing player.
Utah State 20-6. All 6 losses are quad 1 on the road. So a resume with no bad losses. Ledee somehow keeps that one alive. Kick out Butler. Ledee fighting for the offensive rebound. Goes up to get it around Osobor. Bothered by Osobor. Falslev runs it down.
Play on. Very physical, Carter.
Darius Brown to second. And then it's out of bounds off of Isaac Johnson, who couldn't handle the pass. Utah State turns it over.
As a player, you don't want to leave your feet to pass, Carter. You want to make sure. So I think that was more Darius Brown II's problem, right, than Johnson.
We keep an eye on that rebounding battle. In the first meeting, it was +9 San Diego State in the win at Viejas Arena. So the battle of the boards, the battle down low is going to be big in determining the victor for first place tonight.
No question, Carter. Last game, Utah State got beat badly on the boards against Colorado State, lost by 14.
Big-to-big double. Jay Powell tries a 3, boarded by Ian Martinez. So the look for Jaden Ledee is 2 bigs coming at him. Ledee told us he expected that today. Makes it tough to pass out of the double. Falslev off the bounce, off the drive. That's a tough finish for Mason Falslev. 4-0 start for the Aggies.
He's a slasher. That's what he does best. He can make the 3, but he's better at attacking the rim.
Trammell, who's back in the starting lineup. This is his 6th straight start after coming off the bench for much of his senior season. So Butler and Trammell both on the floor to begin the game for San Diego State. Butler attacks, gets to the rim, tapped away, taken away by Osobor. Aggies on the run. Falslev attacks and finishes around Micah Parrish. A perfect shooting start, 3 for 3 for the Aggies.
Right. Shooting practice today, and Brian Dutcher was afraid of the transition game of Utah State. Got to go inside to the big fella. Get Jaden Ledee the ball.
Utah State 14th in the nation in field goal percentage. San Diego State tops in the Mountain West Conference defending field goal percentage. Another miss for the Aztecs, another rebound for Martinez and the Aggies. Into Osobor. Osobor, here comes a double from Powell, and a reach-in foul called on Jay Powell.
Falslev once again struggled a little bit last game at Colorado State, attacks the basket, nice finish. Young man, he committed to Utah, went on his mission, changed his mind. He's now here with the Aggies.
A 21-year-old redshirt freshman.
Marlowe's got to get good players, keep them for a long time till they're 24. Good things happen when you're old and experienced and talented.
Mentioned the Aggies 11-1 at home. The lone loss to Nevada. We're snapping a 13-game home winning streak when the Wolfpack came in here and won. Heidi in to guard Osobor for now. Saunders also off the bench for San Diego State. Falslev launches. There's the first miss for Utah State. Osobor runs it down, keeps it alive. Out of bounds off of the Aggies. It's San Diego State basketball.
San Diego State trying to get Waters the ball. He's a real streaky shooter. Transferred from Southern Cal. Give him a look. Then come back to Ledee.
Ledee gets an early break for San Diego State. Here's Parrish up top. Off the screen from Saunders. Saunders, who's been playing great off the bench of late for San Diego State. Waters gives it up. Heide at the top. Dribble handoff into the hands of Trammell. 5 to shoot. Trammell takes it over Brown. Rattles out. The cold shooting start continues. Saunders on the offensive glass. He's fouled before the shot. So it's on the floor, says Vern Harris. But Saunders gets on the offensive glass.
Yep. Really physical there. You got to put your body on somebody. Saunders, good job. In again, out again, Finnegan, but way to attack the boards.
The foul is on Osobor, so that's impactful early for the Aggies.
Last game, Colorado State got 14 offensive boards, Carter, against Utah State. They got 18 points out of that, so Utah State really worked hard on their rebounding yesterday at practice.
Heide backing down on Osobor, turns in the paint, and there's finally the first bucket for San Diego State.
The bench is great. We talked about that today. Last 18 games, the bench of San Diego State has outscored the bench of their opponents. I like bench guy. I was a bench guy when I was in college.
Into the bench, I hear. Brown misses the three. Heide has the board.
I was almost in a locker room. I was that far down.
So Miles Heide has a bucket and a board off the bench for San Diego State. Trammell in the paint, cut off. He traveled. Turnover, San Diego State. Here's the one basket so far for San Diego State.
Got to be ready to play. Off the bench, we need help. Heide spins, lefty jump hook, nice finish. Here we are, and Logan, stay with us.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Jeep. There's only one. And by AT&T. We believe connecting changes everything.
February 3rd at Viejas Arena, Micah Parrish, Jane Ledee, and Jay Powell all scored double figures, leading the Aztecs past Utah State 81-67. So as we take a look at the updated tournament resumes, the 18 in the net for San Diego State tops in the Mountain West Conference, projected by Jerry Palm as a 4 seed. But Utah State with a net of 30 projected as a 5. As of right now, Jerry Palm has 6 teams from the Mountain West Conference making it into the NCAA tournament.
That's awesome, Carter. Last 2 years, 2 NCAA tournaments, they had 4, 2 years in a row. This year, chance to get 6. And ahead of a lot of the Power 5 conferences. They could get more than that. It's an unbelievable year for the Mountain West Conference. It's so deep, so many good teams.
Last year, Brian Dutcher led San Diego State to the championship game. Danny Sprinkle led Montana State to a 2nd straight NCAA tournament appearance. Last 2 years, champs of the Big Sky, and now hoping to win the Mountain West Conference regular season for the first time since 2019. Martinez is blocked. Waters comes away with it.
San Diego State's got to do that, Carter. The defense got to get their offense going. They got to get deflection, steals, get out in transition.
Sacco on the floor for Utah State. So 2 big men out there. Sacco at 6'11", Osobor at 6'8". So Sacco at the 5, Osobor 6'8" at the 4. Saunders tries a 3. A 1-for-8 shooting start for San Diego State.
12.5%, not good. Credit the defense by Utah State.
Brown, one of the top assist men in college basketball, running point for Utah State.
Tremendous matchup with he and Butler.
Osobor draws 3 defenders. Ball slip poked away by Trammell. Aztecs on the run. Here's Trammell all the way to the rim. Defense to offense for Darion Trammell.
They got to do that. Tremendous defense. They hold their opponents to 40% from the field. The defense is in their DNA. Been doing that ever since the great Steve Fisher was coaching the Aztecs.
7 steals a game, 2nd to New Mexico in the league. Halslev misses a 3, rebounded by Reese Waters. Quick 3 from Parrish, won't go.
It's not his strength. He can make it 3, but he's better at slashing.
Brown turns the corner. Osobor, who has a 3-point shot, takes it off the bounce all the way to the rim. Great Osobor.
Easy money for Osobor. Tremendous player. Candidate for Player of the Year in the Mountain West.
Montana State for 2 years. He was the 6th man last year for Montana State.
Yep.
A very deep Montana State team. Feed inside, Saunders, turnaround won't go. It's a 2 for 11 shooting start for the Aztecs. Ledie's coming back in the next dead ball.
When you're shooting point like that, Carter, you got to drive the ball. Swing it side to side, put your head down, drive the ball, try to get to the free throw line.
Osibor. Push shot goes. Great Osibor putting on a show, a 10-4 start for Utah State.
He shoots 58% from the field, so when he touches it, magic happens.
Already 4 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist for Osibor.
Not here to hold hands tonight, Carter, that's for sure.
Trammell comes to get it, bumped by Brown.
More ball movement now, more player movement for the Aztecs. Standing around too much.
Reach in, it's an offensive foul. On high D. First personal, that's a turnover, San Diego State. Here comes Ledie back into the game.
Wasn't a lot of movement there. Got Ledie back in. Great player.
No points on 0 for 1 shooting so far.
Yeah, everybody's defense is keen on stopping him. He's got to get help, a little help from his friends, like the Beatles. Got to have some help. I'm a music guy, Carter.
Joe Cocker as well.
Yep.
Brown off the bounce. Long. Martinez goes off the rim. Butler comes away with it for San Diego State. Pull up. Waters, yes. Transition 3. There's the first made 3 for San Diego State.
Streak player, Carter. Once he makes 1, he can make 2 or 3 threes and a half. Very talented player. Transfer from Southern Cal. 6th man of the year last year in the Pac-12.
Martinez had a look. Martinez tries a 2. Misses over Ledie, boarded by Butler. Rebounds are even 7-7. Waters, there's an air ball from Reese Waters. Miles Bird there to give him a little encouragement.
There's go those blue gloves. Defense gets their offense going. Boom, a little deflection. Here we go. Push it ahead. Waters from way downtown. Easy money for him. Terrific player off the bench for the Aztecs.
Now, San Diego State averaged 76 a game, Utah State 80, and neither reliant on the 3-point shot. We've only got 1 made 3 in the game.
Great point, Carter. Yep. Utah State is last in the league. Last in the league in 3-point shots, but they defended really well. Got a great one here in Logan. Stay with us on CBS Sport Network.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. 19th ranked San Diego State on the road to take on Utah State. A 3-point lead for the Aggies here in Logan. Let's take a look at the Jeep AP Top 10. That big one in the Big East between UConn and Creighton. Right now the Blue Jays by 12 on number 1 UConn. Houston already has a big win this week over Iowa State.
Yep. Tennessee defeated Missouri. Rick Barnes did a great job with that. I don't think there's an elite team, card. I think some very good teams, a lot of terrific teams, but I don't think it's an elite team like North Carolina was a couple years ago, all right, or Memphis, people like that. So it'll be an unbelievable NCAA tournament.
You notice the top 50 in the net, 6 in the top 50 in the Mountain West Conference, at 3rd among the conferences in college basketball this year.
That's awesome. 6. Long way to go yet. About 5 or 6 league games, but Mountain West is on fire.
2 quad 1 wins for Utah State this year, trying to make it 3 against San Diego State. First place in the Mountain West Conference on the line.
How about San Diego State? It's their 4th quad 1 game in a row.
In a row.
That's a nightmare. I'm glad I'm this side of that court.
2 wins and a loss. The loss was in overtime at Nevada. Digging down on false left, taken away. Miles Bird, terrific D for San Diego State.
Defense is very active. Offense is up and down, but defense is
guarded by Osibor. There's the first bucket of the game for the Mountain West Conference leading scorer, Jaden Ledie.
Let the big dog eat. Get it to the big fella. Leading scorer in the Mountain West. 20 a game.
That's 23rd in the nation.
God, you're peeling back the onion. You're sleeping, you're working.
Big game tonight in the Mountain West.
Exactly right.
False left thought about the 3. Osibor wants it. Osibor guarded by Lamont Butler, so a mismatch in the post. Instead, it's Johnson for three and boarded by Lamont Butler.
Transfer from Oregon, loves a three-point shot.
Lob ahead, Bird with the dunk off the look from Trammell. That's Miles Bird, who is coming on for San Diego State in his sophomore year.
Playing great lately. How about that? Miles Bird, 6'7" sophomore.
A 7-0 run for San Diego State to take the lead.
It's keyed by their defense. That's in the DNA for a long time. Defense gets their offense going.
Osibor again wants it on the post, guarded by Ledee. Get it into Isaac Johnson, who attacks and finishes with the finger roll. A 7-footer from American Fork, Utah, freshman year at Oregon. San Diego State, you talk about defense, but the offense is playing off of that DP.
Exactly, Carter. No question about it. Defense helps get them going, gets their offense going. That time was a gamble failed. Johnson got a layup.
Got a blocking foul called on Josh Aduje. That'll be his first.
Really physical inside with Ledee and Osibor.
Just the second team foul on Utah State. Physicality, a big word in this game.
No question about it.
That was kick ball. Yep, kick ball by Aduje. That'll set the shot clock to 20 for San Diego State. Baseline inbounds for the Aztecs.
Utah State last game against Colorado State on the road, they would get pounded on the boards, 45-32, so they weren't physical. The players got the message, got to be physical tonight.
Into the corner, there's Butler. Spins out, boarded by Johnson. Brown runs the Aggies.
6-year player, Carter.
Down the baseline, Aduje lost it out of bounds, but it was touched by an Aztec. Aggie basketball.
Aggressive. Physical. No place for the weak at heart.
In fact, a little discussion between Greg Nixon for Jaden Ledee and Great Osibor.
That's great refereeing. You want to keep them in the game, so warn them. If they don't listen, then they get fouls. They have to sit.
Osibor banging with Ledee. Kick out, Aduje for three. Ledee has the rebound, lost it out of bounds, but it's out of bounds off of Brown. Aztec basketball.
Last game, Utah State shot 4 for 15 from downtown, Carter. 27%. So they got to knock it down. At home, usually shoot a lot better. It's important.
And yet 0 for 5 from three to begin for the Aggies.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Only 6 made threes a game. That is 10th out of 11 in the Mountain West Conference.
They defend the three great, as you know. 28%, they defend the three, but they don't make the threes as much as they need to. They're still having a great year, 21-5.
Trammell has it poked away by Falslev for a moment. Jay Powell goes to screen and then slips it. Trammell in the paint all the way to the rim. Darion Trammell.
Gutty guy with a big heart.
Falslev nearly slips in the front court. Osibor whips it into the corner for Aduje. More three. There's the first made three for Utah State. Aggies back on top.
Great pass by Osibor. Saw the whole court.
Turnaround, Ledee rattles home. He loves that spot.
Exactly, Carter. Mid-range game. He can do it all. He's a wrecking machine in the post.
Double-figure scoring in every game for Ledee. San Diego State, his third stop after Ohio State and TCU.
They're shooting 56% from the field.
Now it's touched by Trammell. Give it back to the Aggies.
He likes his spot right around the foul line area. Turn around. Easy money for him. Tremendous player. Really worked hard last year. Didn't even score double figures, Carter, right? This year, 20 points a game to lead the Mountain West once again.
7 points per game last year, so he's nearly tripled his output from a year ago. Brown attacks, gets past Trammell. Floater. Tough one for Darius Brown II. The 6th-year senior in his third collegiate stop.
He's going on now. A lot of veteran guys, 23, 24 years old. He's 24 years old. Tremendous player, tremendous leader for the Aggies.
Waters turns the corner. Poked away for a moment by Martinez. Trammell resets. Here's Ledee on Osibor, pulls up and spins it home. That's 6 points for Jaden Ledee.
It's a spot, Carter, as you mentioned before. He likes that 15-footer right on that right elbow.
Aztecs have made 5 of their last 6 shots after the cold shooting start. Johnson, back cut. Martinez stops. Martinez turns around and misses, boarded by Jay Powell.
Keep going to Ledee. He's feeling it.
Jaden Ledee pulls up again. Jaden Ledee, red hot.
Easy money for him. Strong candidate for Player of the Year in the Mountain West.
He has 8 of San Diego State's 19. Brown crosses over. Get it into Osibor, guarded by Ledee.
Great matchup of big men.
Osibor banging down low. Here comes the double. Osibor passes out, and Falslev draws the foul. Jaden Ledee heating up for San Diego State.
Get the ball to the big dog. Let him eat the big dog. Inside, outside. He's a nightmare to guard. Tough to guard. Easy money for him. Very talented guy for the Aztecs.
Pete, you told us when San Diego State was struggling on offense, it was going to begin with the D. Here's case in point.
Great job. Block shots. Great job stealing the ball. The defense gets their offense going. Here we go. Penetration by Falslev. Yes. Birds on the ground. Hungry Aztec hunts best. The defense gets their offense going. We see they forced turnovers 4 points off the turnover 7. So almost half their points, are off the turnover. So they do it 3 steals. That's what they do. If you don't play defense, you don't play for Brian Dutcher and San Diego State.
It's been tough on the road this year for San Diego State, but one of the reasons why they've been one of college basketball's best over the last 5+ seasons especially is, as they say, defense travels.
No question, Carter. Steve Fisher started that, did an unbelievable job for many years. Tremendous coach. I coached against him many years ago when I was at Xavier. He was at Michigan. I helped him get his first win in the NCAA tournament. And then he moved on and won the whole
on the way to the championship. Brian Dutcher at his side.
Yep, rough one with 3.5 to go, but I started coaching and we lost by 5. Glenn Rice hit some threes. Brian Dutcher was assistant.
Tough to coach against Glenn Rice in that condition.
Yeah, they were good. Ramil had a great team. We had a good team too, but they were better. They got better and better.
Ledee misses the 3. Rebounded by Ian Martinez. So a lot of numbers favoring San Diego State, and yet a 1-point back-and-forth game. Falslev tries the 3, boarded by Jaden Ledee, who puts it on the deck. Ledee running the point, finds Micah Parrish on the wing, and Parrish pulls up for 2. Yeah. Ledee gets it started with the defensive rebound.
Exactly. I like Micah Parrish card in the mid-range game. He takes a 3, he can make it, but that's not his strength.
Osibor keeps it alive. Brown deep 3. Darius Brown the second. We're even at 21.
That was from Ogden, Carter. That's a 4-point shot.
Just the second made 3 for Utah State. The deep one from Brown. Ledee wants it again in the low post, guarded by Sacco. Instead, Parrish pulls up for 2, boarded by Brown. Brown thought about another one. Instead, Martinez off the shot fake. Martinez, that's a 3 that won't go. Rebounded by Parrish.
Aztecs, you can't forget about Ledee. Get it to the big dog. He'll pass it out. I think he's too quick for Sacco. Give him the ball.
Instead, Waters throws it away into the hands of Osibor. Falslev takes a tumble in the open court. Brown leaves it short, boarded by Saunders.
Ryan Dutcher calls a set play now.
Parrish comes to get it on the wing, off the screen from Ledee. The roll, Saunders on the perimeter. Trammell 10 to shoot. Trammell in the paint against Osibor, off the window. Darion Trammell.
You got hit too. Play on. Ready, little guy. What you got to do, move the defense, go off the bounce. There we go.
In tight, there's Brown again. We're even at 23.
Very aggressive point guard.
Timeout, at San Diego State. The Aztecs have brought their game to Logan, Utah, but the Aggies have an answer, even at 23. Darion Trammell in amongst the big fellas. Trammell off the window to give San Diego State the lead, but an answer from Darius Brown II. We're even at 23. '19th ranked San Diego State even on the road against Utah State in a battle for first place in the Mountain West Conference. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Roy Hibbert, and Gary Parrish standing by in our New York studio. Get you up to speed on tonight's college basketball action coming up on AT&T at the half. We are well past the midway point, but here's what Coach Gillen has so far around the nation.
Well, mid-major love, Quinnipiac from Connecticut. Top of court, just got a new 4-year contract card today. Deserves it. Long-time assistant. Terrific. Used to be different schools. Surprise team for me. South Carolina Gamecocks is one of the big surprises. Top player, Zach Edey, is a wrecking machine in a low post. So, you know, we got a lot of good things going on right now in our season.
That bottom line was UConn, your pick to go back-to-back champions, but they're down 14 at the half.
I know.
Sacco has the block, run out. Aggies, Martinez off the shot, fake attacks. Off the window, boarded by Saunders.
The slow reader card, they didn't get to that. But yeah, UConn, Creighton's got a terrific team. Big East, great year.
ID, bothered by Sacco in the low post. Khalifa Sacco playing big minutes in the first half for the Aggies. Osibor guarded by Saunders, double comes. Quickly reverse it around to Martinez. Back into Osibor, splits the double and fouled on the floor before the shot.
Osibor's got great moves in the low post. Right, left, getting pushed by Saunders. Nice spin, a little bit of hook there. Great move by Osibor.
That was the first personal foul on Parrish. Now 5 team fouls on the Aztecs.
Yep. Keep going inside to the big guy. You can hit that 17-footer too if you give him too much room.
Osibor gets past Heidi, traveled. So a little bit too aggressive this time down. Osibor turns it over.
Yep. They don't call that very often, Carter. It's a good call by Vern Harris, a great official. It's close, but I think he made the right call.
Ledee on the bench for San Diego State, so he gets a break despite the 8 points to lead the Aztecs.
Butler's got to be aggressive offensively now. He can score.
Saunders draws a double. Saunders turns off the window. He's been playing better off the bench.
Exactly. He's more comfortable off the bench. We talked to Brian Dutcher today. More comfortable right now. Next year he's going to be a big factor. He'll be starting.
Sophomore from Phoenix, Elijah Saunders.
Mismatch now. He's going to shoot the ball.
Osibor guarded by Heidi. Quickly spins, drops it off, and dunked down by Sacco off another good look from Osibor. That is his 3rd assist.
Tremendous player.
Saunders tries a 3. Boarded by Martinez.
Keep going to him.
Foul in the low post called on Saunders. His first personal.
Here we go. Get the ball to the big dog. Double team. Nice pass to Sacco. Great pass by Osibor. Tremendous play from Bradford, England. Left pass. Big man to big man. It's like your alma mater, Syracuse. Louis Orr, right, to Roosevelt Bowie.
That was a few years ago.
A few years, yeah, it was a while ago. Moby Dick was a minnow at that time, but remember that, right? You were there? Or no, later on you came on.
It was a little bit later on.
You're in a spring chicken car.
Closer to the Carmelo era.
Yep.
Osibor keeps that one alive off the deck. Martinez picks it up. Misses the 3. Long rebound.
Oh.
Bunk play on. Brown goes to get it. Butler nearly had the rebound. Osibor wants it at the high post. Grabs it against Saunders. 4 assists already for Osibor. Kick out Brown. Another assist for Osibor. Brown's triple gives the Aggies the lead. 5 assists for the big man in the first half.
Tremendous player. Kick it in, kick it out. Great way to get an open 3. Darius Brown really stepping up.
Here's Ledee, cut off by Osibor.
Drive the ball.
Parrish tries a three. Rebound taken by Osibor, his 4th rebound. Brown finds a cutter, a Duge. Foul is called. That'll send a Duge to the free throw line with the foul on Parrish, his 2nd.
Get the ball inside to the big fella. Double team, kick it in, kick it out. Darius Brown is 2nd, bottom. Veteran guy, he's one of the leaders of the team. Darius Brown is 2nd. Veteran guy, 6th year in college basketball.
A Duge from Coastal Carolina to the free throw line for 2. That was a consequential foul, the 2nd on Micah Parrish. Also 17 fouls on San Diego State. Catch more Aztec action Saturday night as they square off against the Fresno State Bulldogs. Tip-off begins at 10 Eastern here on CBS Sports Network. Carter Blackburn, Pete Gillen from Logan, Utah, the newly minted Stu Morrill Court. The D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. The Herd and a packed house here to see San Diego State and Utah State for first place in the Mountain West Conference.
Stu Morrill was a great coach, Carter. Did a wonderful job for a long time. Great honor for him, and he deserves it for sure.
Utah State on a 6-0 run to take command here late in the first half. Butler off a screen from Ledee. Ledee wanted it at the rim. Instead, he'll take it on the post. Nice look, Jay Powell.
Great defense by the Aztecs, by the Aggies.
Instead, a foul called on Sacco, bumping Trammell. So defending until the last 10 seconds of the shot clock, and then a bailout foul.
Yep. Yep. Sacco hit him. They switched.
But just the 3rd team foul against Utah State. Trammell on the wing.
Inside to the big guy. Leading scorer in the Mountain West.
Here comes the double. The 2 bigs double. Bird on the weak side, fouled by Martinez. Well, that is a formidable double team when you have Sacco and Osibor double teaming Ledee.
Big to big double team. They double here. They come after him. Nice skip pass. Bird attacks the basket. Good call, get fouled. That's good basketball. Inside out. Ledee's a mark man. Carter is a great player, so he's smart enough. Get rid of the ball.
Bird rattles home the first free throw. The sophomore from Stockton, California, who played in only 4 games last year, a young sophomore. But as we mentioned, he's coming on, including 6 assists and 4 blocks in their win over New Mexico.
Yep.
A 30-second timeout. Utah State by 3 on the Aztecs.
The Grand Cherokee is the most awarded SUV ever. And because of that, it means even more when you can keep a Grand Cherokee in the family.
It's yours now.
While still looking forward to the road ahead.
During the Jeep President's Day sales event, get the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee starting at $38,290 MSRP.
On February 10, Utah State not only defeated their rivals in Boise State, but paid tribute to Aggie legend Stu Morrill, who coached Utah State from 1999 to 2015. And look at the collection of coaches that were on hand to honor Stu Morrill.
Unbelievable. Rod Tweller, Con Smith, who's at Indiana for Larry Station, we know. Tim Duryea, great group. Tremendous staff. Stu Morrill, Carter, had more plays than Shakespeare. He had a million things he ran. Tremendous coach. Excellent offensive, and had a wonderful career here at Utah State. Great honor, he deserves it.
See the differential between shot and game clock, so the Aggies can't take it all the way down, but a chance to add to the 3-digit lead in a low-scoring first half between the Aggies and Aztecs.
It's the type of game that Aztecs want, Carter. More physical on the road.
Brown attacks, pulls up, Brown floats it home. Bird will heave it from half court. And it's Utah State 31-26 at the half. Darius Brown the second, the last bucket for the Aggies.
Darius Brown, a veteran, nice pump fake. Gets his man in the air, nice finish. Darius Brown is the leader of the team. Terrific player. Having a big game here against the Aztecs.
That is the end of the first half with the score Utah State 31, San Diego State 26. After the break, we'll send you to Brent and the gang in New York with AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Meeting number 2 of the season between San Diego State and Utah State. A 5-point game at the half for the Aggies. Carter Blackburn with the great Pete Gillen. And Pete, dare I say it has been a defensive struggle, 31-26.
No question about it. That's a game that the Aztecs like. The defense is keeping them in the game, Carter. They got 9 points off Utah State's turnover. How about Darius Brown the second? Struggle last game, 2 points against Colorado State. Leading scorer tonight, 12 points. The little point guard's playing great.
We talked about the big men first, and the big men have led the way. Jaden Ledee with 8 points for San Diego State.
Tremendous. Mid-range game. That's his spot. It's his wheelhouse. 17-footer. Bang. Tremendous play, inside, outside. Great Asabor. Tremendous player also. Bunch of assists, Carter. 5 assists. Double them, they'll make you pay. Here we go. Kicks it in, kicking out. Darius Brown, money. Here we go. Shot fake, goes by him like the north wind. Nice finish. Tremendous player from Bradford, England.
As we take a look at the first half stats, brought to you by Chase. 9 points off turnovers. That's what's kept San Diego State in the game. Our Aztec insider tells us at the half, Brian Dutcher told his team, we haven't played well, and it's still a 5-point game.
They got to be thrilled. They're only down 5 points. Didn't play well. Credit the defense by Utah State, holding them down. But Aztecs got to play better. They got to get some help for Ledee. Butler's a great player, a defensive player of the year last season by the media in the Mountain West. He's got to help out offensively. We see 9.5 points a game tonight. He has nothing. So he's got to help him out a little bit. Because Ledee can't do it himself. He's a great player, Ledee, but he's got to get help.
Both teams 9-4 in Mountain West Conference competition. First place is on the line. The Aztecs have won 5 straight over the Aggies, and yet Utah State 11-1 at home. They led by as many as 6. It was a 6-0 start in the game for Utah State. That was the largest lead of the first half for either side. Butler hits the deck. That's a travel, and San Diego State opens up the second half with a travel by Lamont Butler.
Going hard, spins. Good call by Vern Harris. It's a walk. First 5 minutes of the second half is always crucial in any game, so they don't want to let this game get away from them.
Trammell goes for the steal on Brown in the backcourt. Brown manages to corral it. A tremendous first half for Darius Brown second. You mentioned the bounce-back game after struggling against Colorado State. Then Butler commits the foul, so a tough start to the second half for Lamont Butler.
Yeah. Tremendous player, just not having his best game right now.
By virtue of San Diego State's win earlier this month over Utah State, it's the Aztecs on top of a very deep Mountain West Conference.
Tremendous conference. Chance to get 6 in, which would be unbelievable. Still a long way to go.
Asabor guarded by Ledee on the low post. No double coming now. Trammell digs down, kick out Brown. Another look from Asabor to Brown. Largest lead of the game for Utah State.
15 points for the little general. Been around a long time. Kick it in, kick it out. He'll make you pay. 6 assists for Asabor.
It looks like we have a foul called on the rebound. We've got to double check who that foul was called. It's on Jay Powell, and that is Jay Powell's 3rd. So Utah State, who famously had a 5-point play against UNLV, and the Thomas and Mack Center has a chance to go 5 points, maybe 6, if they hit a triple on this possession.
Good call, Carter.
Brown gathers 6th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio for Brown, but he's been scoring it tonight. Martinez finds a slipping Johnson, rolls to the hoop. Isaac Johnson off a good look from Ian Martinez.
Nice pick and roll play by the Aggies. 10-point lead.
First double-digit lead for either side. Double comes on Ledee. So Ledee brings it all the way out. Pulls up on Osibor. Ledee rattles it home when the Aztecs need a bucket.
Taking over. Needs a little more help, but big-time shot. He's got a good mid-range game.
Double-figure scoring in all 27 games this year for Jaden Ledee.
Fabulous play. You mentioned before, Carter 7 points a game. What a jump.
False left turnaround. Missed it. Ledee has the rebound. Just his third rebound. Ledee averages 8 rebounds a game.
I go to Saunders. I think he can go by Johnson.
Instead it's Ledee again, spinning. Ledee pulls up and misses. Good defense by Osibor this time down. Brown enters it in with the foul on Jaden Ledee. That's well before the shot, but a personal foul on Jaden Ledee.
Nice job in a pick and roll here by the Aggies. Johnson with the finish. Trying to get help. Ledee, his mid-range game is really rolling tonight. Bang. Jaden Ledee, fabulous player.
A foul on Ledee is his first, so he is defended without fouling so far in the game.
Yep.
Osibor banging with Ledee now. Into the paint. Poked away by Ledee. Ledee looked like he took a pop as well.
Yep, that was physical. Play on. Might have to wear a helmet myself, Carter. It's getting real physical.
Ledee gets past Osibor, floats it. That is a blocking foul called. Count the bucket. Isaac Johnson called for the block. Ledee with a chance at a three-point play.
A big emphasis this year now is the block charge. Guys got to be in there for a long time ahead of time. It's close. Call the block. You see the foot. We got a great camera crew here. Like he was outside the restricted area. You see again. Nope, correction. Looked like his foot was on the line.
It's on the line. So.
On the line, yep. Great camera work by our crew. We flew him in, Carter, from all over the country. Dallas, Albuquerque.
Ledee misses the free throw. Brown brings it back.
Keep going to Osibor.
Falslip takes to a knee, kept it. No, he traveled. Tried to keep it alive, but Falslip called for the walk.
He got bumped, then he lost his balance.
Critical stretch here for San Diego State after going down by 10.
The 6, big possession for both teams. Oh, Ledee's getting beat up.
Foul on Falslip, banging with Jaden Ledee.
He gets beat up every game. He's a marked man. Built like a brick house, strong, physical, great physique, but he gets hit hard. We saw it today in practice. We talked to him, right? Scratches on his arm.
Yep, all over his arms.
Yep, he gets beat up.
Last 2 games, he's drawn 21 fouls.
That's unbelievable. 21. It should be, I think, a thing the analytics or an analytic world caught it. It should be make that more of a point of emphasis.
Saunders tries a 3, rattles it home.
Yeah.
Just the second made 3 of the game for the Aztecs.
Yeah, they make 7 a game. Johnson's gonna have a tough time guarding him. I think Saunders is too quick. And plenty of time on that shot.
After the 10-point lead for Utah State, it's a 7-0 run for San Diego State. Osibor gets past Ledee and dunks it down. Great Osibor with a message delivered down the baseline.
From Bradford, England would love. Great Osibor.
Ledee comes out to get it. Trammell, shot fake, he needs help. Saunders comes to get it.
Good defense by the Aggies.
Parrish in the paint. Parrish fades and Parrish can't hit. Rebounded by Isaac Johnson. Brown into the front court. Falslev off a good shot fake. Finds Osibor, who's hammered and one with a foul on Saunders.
Get the ball to the big dog. Let him eat. Let the big guy get the ball. Let the big dog eat. Let him have the ball. He'll kick it out. He's unselfish. Nice drive. Send it home. Unbelievable. Nice finish. Going by a terrific player. Here we go. We got another one. Then end one. Nice chop fake. Boom. Chuck Daly will have the violent pump fake. Unbelievable here in Logan.
Tied at 56. Merrill for the lead. He's got it! And the Aggies are going back to the NCAA tournament.
Bradley for the lead. San Diego State, the tournament champion.
A deep March history between Utah State and San Diego State. 4 out of the last 5 years, including San Diego State over Utah State the last 2 times they have met in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Overall, it is 5 straight wins for San Diego State over Utah State, including earlier this month in San Diego. And yet, Danny Sprinkle in year number 1 at Utah State. His Aggies have brought the fight from the opening tip tonight.
No question, Carter. They really come off a tough loss. We talked about it. At Colorado State, lost by 20. We saw practice the other day, and they're really very physical, so they're really stepping up. Long way to go. But the 2 tremendous teams, 2 NCAA tournament teams.
Osibor leading the way with 9 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Jade Ledee wants it on the low post. Ledee has to come out to get it.
2 good scorers in the wings now for the Aztecs.
Bird fires a 3. Boarded by Heidi on the offensive glass. So a second chance for the Aztecs. Waters step in 3. How about a third chance? Ledee finds Bird. Another miss. And finally, Osibor touched it out of bounds. It will be Utah State basketball. Well, that's a fight for the rebound. Out of bounds off of Waters.
There's Butler, defensive player of the year last year on the media in the Mountain West. Got to try to slow down Darius Brown II. He's been playing great.
Foul called on Heidi, banging with Osibor again. Correction, it's on Waters. That is his first personal. Already 5 team fouls on San Diego State, just 5.5 minutes in.
Not a good thing. Keep attacking the basket if you're the Aggies.
Martinez misses off the inbounds. Waters attacks on the other end, off the window. Another fight for the offensive glass. Ledee is fouled by Sacco. A frustrated Khalifa Sacco.
Great job on the boards by the Aztecs. Clear some space.
That could have been a clean block.
Yeah, it's close. I agree, Carter. It looked like a clean block. Sacco was upset. I don't blame him.
Technical foul. Technical foul called on Sacco, arguing the personal foul. Yep. So foul number 2 and foul number 3 on Sacco. And Sacco was frustrated with the foul call, but doubled down on it to get the technical.
Gotta control your emotions.
So Waters gets the 2 technicals, and now Ledee on the personal foul called on Sacco. This is a turning point here for San Diego State, potentially.
Potentially 4-point play, possibly.
A 5-point game. Utah State is led by as many as 10 in the second half. Ledee has done his part. Spins the second one home. The Player who leads the Mountain West Conference in free throws and free throw attempts, Jaden Ledee.
Draws a ton of fouls, Carter, as you mentioned before. It's a mark of a great player when you draw a lot of fouls, whether you're a big guy or a point guard, whatever.
Martinez on the wing.
Gets the ball to Osobor, leading scorer.
3 to shoot. Martinez, step back, tough three. Won't go, boarded by Bird.
Not a good shot. Defense is all over it.
One for 9 shooting in the game for Martinez. Butler not much better. Misses again. Foul called on Bird going for the rebound. Already team foul number 6 now on San Diego State.
It's frustrating. Here the Aggies now drive the basketball, swing it, ball movement, player movement, put your head down, drive. Get to the free throw line. But you have a wide open 3.
Oh, nearly stolen in the backcourt by Butler.
Great matchup. Darius Brown is second, and Lamont Butler, 2 outstanding point guards.
Brown's gotten the better of the matchup. Ledee switches off. Now Osobor on Heidi. Osobor in tight off the bounce.
Osobor more moves than a can of worms. Tremendous player.
11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists.
He's checking all the boxes.
Waters pulls up for 2. That's a top 2 from Reese Waters.
He's a guy that can really give him a big lift. Streaky shooter. Looks like Utah State could be a lot more ahead, Carter. You know what I mean? They're only up 4. Aztecs are not playing great. They're hanging around. Mismatch. Go by him, Darius.
Brown crosses over, gives it up. Falslev fires a 3. Big one for Falslev. Not a great 3-point shooter, but gives the Aggies a 7-point lead.
He was out here real early before the game, about an hour and a half shooting threes. He lives right near here, not far away.
Butler on the wing, turns the corner on Brown. Cut off. Back cut, great look, great block. Osobor gets the block. Bird gets it back. Out of bounds, off of the Aggies Aztec basketball. Great block by Osobor.
Kick. Ball left from downtown. Money. Another assist. Darius Brown is second. Osobor with a tremendous block. High-level game. Logan, Utah.
6 to shoot here. Getting into Jay Powell on the baseline. Ledee off the shot fake. He'll take it. Ledee spins out. Boarded by Osobor. Great Osobor brings it up himself. Brown behind the screen from Osobor. Buries the triple. Blows the kisses to the crowd. Double-digit lead again for the Aggies. Butler turns it over. Utah State basketball. The Aggies pulling away from San Diego State. It's a double-digit lead for Darius Brown II and the Aggies.
Unbelievable motion. Darius Brown behind you. Go under the screen. He makes you pay. Very emotional. I'm emotional. I cry when I see Law and Order reruns. Great emotion for the Aggies. On a roll. Aztecs hold their opponents to 40% from the field card, and now Aggies are shooting over 50%.
Brown to Osobor stepping out. Doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but is capable from outside.
No question, that looked pretty good.
Now Osobor and Ledee banging on the other end. Out of the timeout, where does San Diego State go?
Go to Ledee. Go to your best player, the leading scorer in the Mountain West. Get him the ball. Get him the ball.
There's the feed inside with a foul on Sacco. San Diego State is just one of its last 9, so trying desperately to get Ledee the basketball.
Yeah. Sacco's beating him up. Good call. Keep going to the big fella. Got to get a little more help from his partners. He's doing what he can. Keep going to him. They double team him, kick it out. He's got 14 points. Nobody else has double figures. Waters has 7.
Osibor pokes it away for a moment. Bird runs it down. Bird turns the corner, push shot goes, and a big bucket for Miles Bird for the Aztecs.
You mentioned before, he's been playing well lately. Got to get some offense now. San Diego State. Keep going to Osibor. He's playing great.
7 assists already for Osibor, tying his career high.
Tremendous player. Rebounds, assists, does it all.
Falslev behind the screen from Osibor. This one rattles out. Tapped out. Falslev manages to save it to Johnson. Bird rips it away. Bird, Waters in the corner.
Boom!
Triple in transition. No, it's a long 2. Called a long 2 from Waters. Technical foul. Looks like it's on Johnson. No, it's on Waters.
Ref's got to have a little more patience. I mean, it's an emotional game. Yeah, maybe he's melted.
Looked like the second turn by Waters is what did it.
Exactly right, Coach. First time, it's an emotional game. You got to let go, but 2 times, no.
Brown gets both the technical shots. So we've had technicals on both sides in the game. One on Sacco for Utah State, one on Waters for San Diego State.
Got to control your emotions.
Martinez brings it up this time for the Aggies. Aduje poked away by Bird, manages to hang on. Now Martinez, here's Bird with a run-out chance. Miles Bird dunks it down and says hello to the herd. Osibor, nice catch, nice finish off the look from Martinez.
Great pass by Martinez. Waters is the guy who can bring it back. He's a streak shooter.
Jay Powell in the paint, cut off by Johnson. That is a 3-second violation. So Utah State D's up Jay Powell and the Aztecs again.
There we go. Great defense. Miles Bird with the steal. Sophomore throw it home. Nice alley-oop. There's a mismatch. Throw it up. Darian Trammell trying to guard Osibor. It's not going to happen. Great pass, as you said, by Martinez.
Osibor brings it up himself again. Attacking on Ledee. Crosses over. Gets his own rebound. Osibor on the offensive glass. Here comes the help. Ledee reaches in and fouls on Osibor. Great Osibor getting the most of the big man matchup.
Yep. Great move, good call. Got to give him some help. Tough to guard him when he gets in the post there. The wrecking machine in the 3-second lane. Yeah, he's calling for help. Osibor gets great deep post position.
Second personal foul on Ledee, who gets a frustrating trip back to the San Diego State bench. 1-and-1 coming for Osibor. Friday night at 8 Eastern, meet us on the ice for some top 20 college hockey action as number 13 Western Michigan goes head-to-head against number 15 St. Cloud State. Watch the puck drop here on CBS Sports Network. 14-7-7.
Tremendous. Now the problem is, where are the Aztecs going to score now? Ledee out of the game. I go to Waters, give him a touch. He's the best scorer.
Here's Waters with a nice feed for Jay Powell with a dunk off a great look from Waters.
Great pass, pick and roll. Go to Osibor. It'll be tough to guard him inside. He's too quick.
Osibor on Heidi gets past the double all the way to the rim.
Forget about it. Too talented, too quick, too strong. Heidi's a good player, but not ready for Osibor.
16 in the game for Great Osobor. Poked away by Martinez into the backcourt. No problem for Powell. Seven to shoot here. Waters off the shot fake. Gets Osobor in the air. Spins it in. Foul called on the floor. It is on Martinez. Yes, it is. It's on Martinez.
Yep. Waters is a guy that helped bring him back. Ledee's coming back in the game. Nice pull-up, pump fake. Good touch. Tremendous shooter. Streaky shooter, but very talented player.
16 fouls on Utah State now. Osobor gets a break for Utah State. Much needed.
Yep.
So Ledee in the game with no Osobor.
Yep. It's a problem now for the Aggies. Go to the big fella. Go to Jaden Ledee. Let him touch the ball.
Poked away by Aduje. Still San Diego State ball.
Sacco's a key guy now. He's got to slow down Ledee if he can for a couple minutes.
Trammell in the corner. Boarded by Sacco. That's a tough shot. Aduje into the front court. Kick out. Martinez. Shot fake. Martinez all the way to the rim. Ian Martinez.
Costa Rica would love. Heck of a move. Transfer from Maryland. Wow.
Ledee gets it. Foul called on Sacco. A frustrated, again, Khalifa Sacco. Already has a technical foul in the game. Martinez off the shot fake, takes it himself. Aggies by 9. Presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Utah State trying to claim first place in the Mountain West Conference all alone. A 9-point lead on San Diego State. Let's take a look at our Old Trapper Beef Jerky player of the game. Still a long way to go, but a heck of a night. Great Osobor.
Playing terrific Carter, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Terrific pass, 7 assists. Career high, very unselfish. He puts it on the ground. Can score at all 3 levels. Can knock it down from downtown. Mid-range, score inside. Terrific moves.
And only 1 personal foul for Osobor, so he stayed on the floor for 31 minutes. A good game for Jaden Ledee, but clearly Great Osobor has won the big man matchup so far.
So far, Cartwright, 7 assists. It's terrific for a big guy. Double teaming him. 2 tremendous players. Jaden Ledee and Great Osobor.
Ledee with 14 points and a chance for 2 more at the free throw line.
Yep.
1 and 1.
Yeah, Ledee's got to get some help. Osobor's got Darius Brown, who's really been big. Ledee's got to get a little more help from his friends.
When Utah State had a double-digit lead early in the second half, San Diego State responded with a 7-0 run. And Utah State had a 6-0 start in this game, and they have controlled throughout. Ledee gets them both. Back to a 7-point game.
Full-court pressure now by the Aztecs. And have the defense get their offense going with some deflections or steals.
Martinez, who had the terrific dunk last trip down for Utah State, entered into Osobor with the foul. That is before the shot. Foul is on Ledee. 1 and 1 coming.
Darius Brown, the second, been tremendous. 20 points, 7 from 9 from the field. When your point guard plays well, your team plays well, and he's having a great game.
Great Osobor mentioned he was the 6th man last year for Montana State, a very good Montana State team, including Gabriel Bello, who's now playing in France, who's a very good player for Danny Sprinkle at Montana State, but brought Osobor and Darius Brown to be the nucleus at Utah State, coming from Montana State.
Yep, point guard, post players. Great nucleus, as you said. How about Danny Sprinkle? Last 2 years, Montana State, NCAA tournament. Aggies are heading to the big dance. Tremendous coach. What a great future he has.
Jerry Palm projects Utah State as a 5 seed right now, so solidly in the field. San Diego State a 4 seed.
Get him the ball. He was wide open. Powell couldn't get it to him.
Trammell takes a bump from Brown. Play on.
Yep.
Trammell turns it over. Stolen away by Martinez. Lob. Falslev couldn't finish. Boarded by Waters.
Big possession now, could have been 10.
Powell feeds it into Ledee. Here comes a double. Foul called on Johnson, digging down on Ledee. So these are the 3 teams who had 0 points returning from last season. And this is what's impressive about Utah State, 21-5. Neither of those other 2 teams has a winning record.
Exactly. Donuts, no points coming back, none. 13 scholarship plays. Now, he brought a great nucleus, as you mentioned. Darius found his second, an Oxford, but he had to fill in the other blanks. And a great job. I think he's a candidate for National Coach of the Year. There's a lot of other high-ranking guys. Danny Hurley at UConn is a great coach. And
Lamont Paris in South Carolina, a favorite.
Done a great job. A lot of great coaches, but I think Danny Sprinkle, to me, is in the conversation when you have no points coming back, none. And he's 21-5 in a great league in the Mountain West. Brian Dutcher, how about going to the national championship game? Another great coach. He's done a wonderful job also. 2 outstanding coaches. They've done great jobs. They do it the right way. Class people and great coaches, both of them.
Ledee trying to lead San Diego State back from the free throw line. Second one spins out, boarded by Johnson. Brian Dutcher telling his defense, let's get a stop.
Exactly. Get a big fella. Get the ball to Oxford.
Kick out, wide open Brown. Short, boarded by Jay Powell, who then hits the deck with a foul on false left.
Yep. Good call by Vern Harris. 1-1. Aztecs got a chance to come back if they can make some free throws.
Nine team fouls on Utah State. Powell to the line for a 1-and-1.
Aggie shoots 73% from the free throw line. Powell 71%.
Gets the front end. Jay Powell, the senior from Omaha Central, who had 16 and 7 the first time against Utah State. Made just his 3rd start in tonight's game.
Great student section here at Utah State.
The Herd.
Yep. Counseling Powell aggressively, but he stepped in, made his free throws.
And then gets a seat on the bench. Saunders checks in for him.
Got an advantage, I think, Saunders against Johnson. Johnson's 7-footer. He's going to have trouble guarding Saunders. Two-possession game. Aztecs are hanging around. Keep going to Oxford. Forget the big guy. Good shot selection now for Utah State.
Martinez brings it up. Brown plays off the ball. Martinez trying to take some pressure off of Darius Brown II. Martinez lost it out of bounds. Turnover by Ian Martinez. Couldn't get past Elijah Saunders.
Unforced turnover. Can't have that last 6 minutes of the game. Big possession for both teams.
Parrish on the wing. Into Ledee. Here comes the double. Johnson doubles with Osobor. So Ledee facing up now. Pulls up for a long 2. Spins in. Shooter's roll for Jaden Ledee.
The rim was kind. Licorice rims, nice and soft.
19 in the game now for Ledee. Back to a 3-point game. Poked away, taken away by Bird.
Defense for the Aztecs. I consider a timeout now from Danny Sprinkle. Next time the Aggies get it, unless they have a breakaway.
Bird wants it. Saunders trying to find Ledee. Cut off by Osobor.
Going to the big dog.
Parrish spinning. Parrish pulls up. Tapped out into the hands of Parrish. Ledee pokes it out of there. Butler trying to find Ledee down low. Here comes the quick double. Ledee draws 3 defenders, takes the shot anyway and hits it. He drew 3 defenders and got it anyway.
Yep. I go timeout now, Danny Sprinkle. That's smarter than me. Call a time. Stop the bleeding.
Timeout, Utah State. Danny Sprinkle takes the timeout. Jaden Ledee leading the comeback effort for San Diego State.
Jaden Ledee, special play on a special team. Shake and bake, 18-footer, no problem. Nice soft rims, we'll take it. Here we go. Nice job. Kick it back out. There we go. Nice move. 3 guys on him, no problem. In traffic, money. Jaden Ledee here in Logan. Stick with it.
What was a double-digit lead for Utah State is down to just 1 point with 4:37 to go. Coming up next, our Hoops coverage wraps with another Mountain West battle as Wyoming takes on Nevada. Keep it here on CBS Sports Network. Nevada with wins over both San Diego State and Utah State, one of 6 projected into the NCAA tournament by Jerry Palm. You see 6 out of the top 43 in the net, all from the Mountain West Conference.
What a great year for the Mountain West Conference. Unbelievable. And UNLV is an excellent team. And tournament's there, so they've had some great wins. So 6 teams right now in the big dance. Possibly, who knows what's going to happen. UNLV's got a chance. The tournament's there in Vegas, so they get a chance to steal a bid.
Jaden Ledee has 21 points to lead the San Diego State comeback effort.
Get it to Osobor. Can't guard him. Get him the ball. He's getting hit.
Osobor guarded by Ledee. Gives it up. Poked away by Parrish into the backcourt. 5 to shoot here. Martinez brings it back. Pulls up. Martinez floats it. It spins out. Tapped up by Johnson. Third chance. Isaac Johnson on the offensive glass.
Big guy. Like to stay on the perimeter. Big rebound. Big finish by Johnson. Great play.
Under 4 to go. First place in the Mountain West Conference on the line. Ledee gets it on the low post, quickly kicks out. Saunders triple. Rebounded by Aduje.
Ledee had it right in at the basket. Could it take it up strong, maybe get fouled. He's pretty tired. Hanging bodies with Osobor. Both those guys are exhausted.
Johnson feeds Osobor.
Gotta double him, double him.
Osobor finds Aduje down low. Aduje can't hit it. Rebounded by Parrish. Skip. Butler attacks. Butler bump. That's an offensive foul. Osobor draws the charge on Lamont Butler.
Great defense by the Aggies. Butler drives, steps in. He's Big Blue, one of the top mascots in the country, right there.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chase. Make more of what's yours.
State clinging to a 3-point lead on 19th ranked San Diego State. What a huge charge drawn by great Osobor.
Butler with a penetration. He's outside the restricted area. Good call. He's there plenty of time. He's waiting for him before he left his feet. That's the judgment. He's standing there before he left his feet. Great job by Osobor.
The top 2 teams in the Mountain West Conference when they met earlier this month in San Diego. It was the Aztecs with a 81-67 win over Utah State. So the Aztecs presently atop the Mountain West Conference standings, but the winner of this one will be all alone in first place. A Utah State team who was picked 9th in the preseason polls has a chance to be in first place at the end of the night in the Mountain West Conference all alone.
With 13 new players. Danny Sprinkle brought 2 great ones with him. Darius Brown with the ball there and Osobor, but he had to fill in the blanks. Tremendous transition.
Brown in the corner. Brown steps back for 3. It's short. Bird keeps it alive. Johnson can't corral. Saunders has it for the Aztecs.
Oh, wow, wow. Big guys are banging.
Ledee and Osobor.
Wow. Go to your best player. Let him touch the ball. He's got to work hard to get free, but he's got to touch it.
Bird at the high post, trying to feed Ledee. It's taken away. Osobor pokes it out of there. Brown corrals it for the Aggies.
Great defense by the Aggies.
That's back-to-back terrific defensive plays from great Osobor.
Tremendous player. candidate for player of the year, the conference, along with Ledee. Isaiah Stevens from Colorado State.
Osibor trying to rip through on Ledee. Here comes the double. Bird rejects it. Back into the hands of Brown. Back to Osibor. Takes it up again.
Wow.
Tipped out. Shot clock winding down. Brown rattles home the three with the shot clock winding down. On the third chance for Utah State.
Darius Brown is second. His world. We're just passing through it.
Timeout, San Diego State. Aggies by 6. An all-out fight on the offensive glass, won by Utah State, giving Brown a chance at this three.
Way downtown. His 5th three-point shot is on fire. Little General. Good hustle by both teams. Darius Brown money. Big bounce back in the last game against Colorado State.
He's just 3 away from his career high. You talk about the bounce back game. Bad line in Fort Collins, much better tonight.
Big Hard, the leader of the team for the Aggies.
Bird picks up the dribble. Saunders comes to help him. Ledee banging with Osibor down low.
Get him the ball.
Here it is in the paint. Turnaround rejected by Osibor. Great Osibor doing it on both ends.
Great block by Osibor. Tremendous play upon him. Offense, defense, assists. Forget about it.
So Utah State in no rush now in the half court with a 6-point lead.
The time.
Brown attacks. Brown floats it. It is on the baseline, out of bounds. Sacco out of bounds. It's Aztec basketball.
Great block by Osibor.
Going to go to the monitor to review who this is out of bounds off of. Less than 2 minutes left in regulation. Oh, it looked like maybe Butler's foot out of bounds. So this is going to be close. Yep. Ruled out of bounds off of Sacco, San Diego State basketball, but again, less than 2 minutes. Reviewable on the out of bounds. So if Sacco is on the baseline when he touches it, then they get the call correct.
Right. Yep. Looks like. Ooh.
But was Butler out of bounds when he touches it last? Butler's inbounds at that point. So again, it's ruling out of bounds off of Sacco.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a very convoluted picture.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
Vern Harris is over to discuss with Pete.
Let us know, Vern.
Yeah. All right, Pete, what does Vern have to say? Nothing yet. Yeah, the ruling is out of bounds off of Sacco, San Diego State basketball. Aztec basketball.
Yep, Aztec basketball off on Sacco.
That may be one of those where you just don't have enough evidence to turn it over.
Yeah, it was a hairline thing. It was very tough to distinguish.
Huge possession here for San Diego State.
No question. Both teams. Aggies going to play good D. Aztecs get the ball to the big dog. Get the ball to the big guy.
Wanders in the paint. Kick to the corner. Jay Powell will take it. Miss it. Rebound for Brown, but a foul is called on the rebound against Utah State. It's on Osibor.
Wow. That shot wasn't even close. Shot fake. It's tough to shoot a three-point shot after the pump fake card from way outside because you're not completely balanced. He had to gather himself, get recalibrated.
The foul on Osibor, his second. It is a double bonus situation for both teams now. So 2 shots for Ledee. Again, tops in the Mountain West Conference at getting to the free throw line, and free throw makes Jaden Ledee. Over 200 free throws shot this season in his senior year.
Mark of a great play. He shoots 73% from the free throw.
Ledee gets them both. 4-point game again.
They take care of the ball now, the Aggies. Get the ball to Darius Brown II. Get him the rock.
Osibor in the backcourt. Martinez brings it up.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Brown comes to get it.
We got
4 flat on the baseline is the call from Danny Sprinkle.
You don't have to foul for the Aztecs.
7 to shoot. Brown gives it up. False left off the shot flake. That's a blocking foul with 2 seconds on the shot clock called on Bird. False left will go to the line for 2.
Bird recovers, shot fake. Good call.
Utah State has not lost a game decided by 5 points or less this season. Only 1 home loss. That was to Nevada. If they can beat the Aztecs, it would take them to 12-1 at home this year.
Awesome. Also only shoots 61% from the free throw line. Money shot. Red shirt freshman.
Gets them both.
Clutch shots by Falslow.
Aztecs need something in a hurry. Trammell into the front court, gets past Osibor. Kick out, Waters 3 off a 1 foot, no good. Rebounded by Sacco. Aggie basketball, the Aztecs back off. And Utah State will snap the 5-game losing streak to San Diego State. The Aggies will be all alone atop the Mountain West Conference. It was not an offensive explosion in this game for Utah State, a team that averages 80 points per game, but just enough offense for the Aggies.
Exactly. 2 big guns, Darius Brown II, Oswald were fabulous, and Ledee just didn't get quite enough help.
Brown with 24, that matches his season high.
He was tremendous. He's the leader of the team, he stepped up big time in a big time game.
Make it 25 in the game for Darius Brown II. Danny Sprinkle will beat San Diego State for the first time in his career. Bird hits the 3. Osibor gets to heave it. Utah State knocks off 19th ranked San Diego State in the battle for first place in the Mountain West Conference. Aggies 68, Aztecs 63.
Right. Okay.
Pete, what was the difference tonight?
Well, I thought the 1-2 punch, the inside-outside game of Darius Brown II, Osibor were fabulous. Ledee did a great job. He needed a little more help from his other teammates, but the crowd was great. It was a tremendous game. Both teams, you see 2 of the top players in the Mountain West Conference, and Osibor and Ledee. Great game, 2 tremendous teams.
Utah State is all alone atop the Mountain West Conference as they pay back San Diego State's win at Viejas Arena earlier this season with a 68-63 win. Still more to come from Logan, Utah, where Utah State celebrates.